Hello everyone, it's Kara. I want to take this opportunity to give you a tour of our truck Beastie. The last time was in 2016 and a lot has happened since then. Not only have we taken on a lot of new projects, we also have over 3,000 new subscribers. So thank you very much. Our truck is a 2003 F550. And as you can see, we've changed a few things. We replaced the front with a McNeil Racing fiberglass body kit, and that gives it the new 2011 look to it. And we did this so that we could accommodate our MPT81s without any fender flares. And over here we have the Keeper winch, 17,500 pound Keeper winch, and a custom made Hardox bumper. As I said before, we went with the 2003 F550 because that was the last year for the International 7.3, which is known to be a very reliable engine. We've also upgraded our mirrors to the new style that have the indicator lights built in so that people can see that we're turning. Nice big mirrors too.
Okay. In the cab now, this is where I spend a lot of my time. As you can see, we've tinted our back window, got some decals up there. We recently upgraded our seats to these 10-way electric leather seats, which are super comfy. Moving to the driving controls here, I do have a A-pillar gauge cluster with oil temperature, turbo boost, exhaust gas temperature or pyrometer, and fuel pressure. And here I have a 3D printed holster that holds my phone, and that ties into the Android Auto. I'll show you in a second. Our Espar D2 engine preheater controls are here. I have some upfitter switches that control lights and other things. Our ignition system has been completely torn out and replaced with a custom solution. A pretty standard Kedwood head unit that we just use for amplifying right now, and then the keyboard, which ties into the Android Auto pod here. This is the 3D printed pod I made to hold our Android Auto touchscreen. Okay, and then right behind the driver's door here is our garage and utilities. Here's where our stainless steel Pepsi kegs live, as well as all of our electronics and controls that handle a lot of the automation stuff. We have a 1800 watt inverter that runs off of our solar, of course, and we have a 5 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery which lives in here. In the bottom we keep tools and hatchet and that sort of thing, as well as our air compressors and air solenoids that pressurize our water and air cylinders. Fun stuff.
Okay, so back here is where our spare tire lives, and we also have an 8,000 BTU mini split air conditioner. Over here we have our diesel fill, and also our back bumper is an air tank as well. These are our Continental MPT81s, and they are 41 inches tall, and nothing has stopped us yet. Here you can see our Deaver springs, and we have a video on that install. We'll link that above. All right, let's head inside. Okay, so when you come in, you have a little bit of a well here, and we had originally intended this for a shower basin. We thought that we could add a curtain here, and then we would be able to have a shower here. But we actually have been using an outdoor shower system, and that's been working really well for us. Here we have our sink, and we have pressurized water from those kegs that you saw earlier. And this is just a bar sink that we got from Home Depot. And right behind that we have the light switch, and it also has a dimmer. Over here we have our Induction Cooktop, and this is a True Induction is the brand that we went with, and we are very happy with it. It's worked wonderfully for us. We are running it all electric. We don't run any propane in the whole camper, and this is being run using our solar panel system, which we'll show you later. More counter space. This is our main storage area, and we are just using bins for now, but we are planning on having some doors here and some closed-in area. Keep everything from moving when we're traveling. Where I'm standing will also be shelving as well, and we do have some coat racks here just for temporary, and we have our composting toilet. Now, I was a little bit skeptical when we first were thinking about going with a composting toilet, but we have been very happy with it. It works so well. So the liquids get separated out from the solids, and you dump the liquids, and the solid gets composted, and we used it for 92 days last year, and I think we changed the compost once, so it's worked very well for us. Now to the fridge. We have the Engle fridge freezer, which is really neat because you can set it to fridge or freezer depending on where you have that. And this works well for us, holds a lot.
All right, in the dinette now, here we have our 24-inch monitor that we use primarily for solar monitoring and running other little scripts that control various automated things I'll show you in a moment. This is the solar control interface that we use. This window shows the production over the last 12 hours, 1 hour, and 1 minute. I won't get into too much detail, but you can see here we have a really nice graph that shows what we made in solar, what we used from the battery, and what the various loads were that used the power, as well as running totals of how much power we've made and the state of each cell in our battery bank, temperatures, and so on. We can also, as I said, run various scripts that do things that are automated around the truck. For example, I can retract our solar panels and extend them, of course. And we can turn our inverter on and off. There's a bunch of stuff in here that's quite automated, and the reason I did that was because I didn't want to run a lot of wires and switches and a lot of extra, control panels and interfaces to be doing things could be done automatically. So for that reason, a lot of it is automatic. This is actually a really nice monitor that we can use for video editing. So if we're on a long trip, we can bring out the laptop, plug in the HDMI, and this is a really nice monitor for that as well. Okay, and this is our dinette where we spend rainy days and romantic suppers. It's hard fastened in here, it's not removable. I did think originally that I could have this table drop down level with the benches, and then you could have a fainting couch sort of thing, or room for a short person to sleep, but just because we climb in and out of here, I like that it's nice and rigid.
Okay, so after the dinette, we have the bed, and under the bed we have more storage. So we have lots of storage cubbies and a few storage drawers, and also an electronic charging station here. The bed is made out of a 5-inch foam, and below the bed we have the Froli spring system, and you can check out that video here. Above that we have a hull liner and Reflectix, and also a max air fan. And here's another view of the lights. So you can have a optional light switch raise if you want. Pretty awesome. And dim them. Alright. Under the floor of our dinette is our thermostat for our Espar D2. And that's located under our sink. It's been awesome to have this heater for those cold nights in Canada. Under here, we will also be putting shelves and drawers for more storage in the kitchen area.
Okay, this is a super handy appliance we like to bring along. It's a Anova sous vide cooker, and it's an immersion cooker. So this cooler is filled with water, and inside that is a vacuum packed steak cooked to perfection at 53 degrees. But it's really handy to bring along because you can just drop it into water and heat whatever water you need. I've also 3D printed this little adapter, which then we can drop it into this keg and heat up 2.5 gallons of water to perfect shower temperature. Then we can pressurize that, and this is what we use for our outdoor showers when we're out in the bush, and that's super handy to have. A hot shower just makes the day when you're feeling grubby. And by popular demand, our air conditioner. Many people noticed the air conditioner compressor mounted on the back of the truck in our earlier videos, and Kara showed you earlier in this video. That's half of it. This is a Forest Air mini split AC system. It's a 8,000 BTU air conditioner, and this is the part that lives inside the truck. It's connected to the compressor via this umbilical, which carries the coolant, as well as the condensation line, which runs outside to dump the condensation outside. As I said, it's 8,000 BTU. It pulls about 1,000 watts, and that's small enough that we can run that basically directly off of our solar without affecting our battery too badly. It's obviously not mounted yet. It's just been living under the counter here for the last little while, but I intend to have this mounted up behind our computer display and duct this pop-up duct more permanently into a duct in that panel there.
Our final favorite device is this mini Dyson. We bring it along with us in the camper. It works really well for cleanup.
Okay, thanks for watching, everyone.
I'm sure we missed some things like the solar, but you can check out that video up here. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
See ya.